Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. How is everybody doing? It is Thursday night, and this is actually my Friday. I hope you have all had a wonderful week and that you are rejecting these narcissists, that you are not paying these creatures that walk amongst us any attention. It is my hope that you are living your best life, narc free. Welcome to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. Karen, I see you. Thank you for joining us all the way from Honolulu. Hey, Tanya. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Narc Free, thank you. Adrena, thank you so much for being here. Hello, Telsha, the TOMPD. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this live and this discussion tonight. Listen, these narcissists are just the biggest headache that you can ever encounter in your life. And they do give you a headache. Like I've said it before several times, that this narcissist gave me migraines, and it took me leaving his raggedy dusty behind to no longer have these migraines. Hello, Tanya Forbes. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you so much. I've been like having a little pep talk with myself, like, okay, go ahead, you can do this, because I'm really shy. So this is like, okay. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you about why the narcissist creates drama, as well as how they do it. There are so many different ways that the narcissists employ this craziness that is who they are, to inflict insidious psychological abuse against their victims. So it is crazy. But yeah, they're raggedy. You're right, Adriana. They are raggedy, dusty, no good, and no good will come out of your life as long as you remain attached to these vampires, these leeches, these demonic entities. Like, listen, they are empty shells. Well, I'm going to take that away. They are empty shells, but they're full of sewer water. There is nothing pure. There is nothing good in there. So, like, really, what business do you have intertwining your soul with somebody that is nothing more than sewer water? You better purge yourself. You better get away from that. It is no good. Nothing good positive will come out of that. Hello, Miss V. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. So let's talk about these things. You see, in order for a narcissist to really thrive and survive, because we know that these creatures are unable to self-regulate. I mean, if they wanted to, they probably could if they would work on themselves, but they're too far gone in their own crazy, and they've given themselves over to be used by the enemy. So like, there's no hope. Don't even waste your time thinking that you could change one of these people. You can't love them whole, you can't sex them whole, you can't provide for them into wholeness. You could lay your life down and let them walk all over you, they would still not love you. They are just that pathetic, that weak, and there's nothing positive for you. So in order for them to be at peace within themselves and in control within themselves, they have to cause an environment of chaos, confusion, and drama, so that it throws you off your kilter, and then you all become all discombobulated, and you end up being like how they truly feel. But that's how they regulate their emotions, that's how they survive, that's how they thrive, because they have to feel as though they are in control. You cannot do anything to change that demon narc. And it is so important to really grasp that you can't waste your good years. Like, when you close your eyes on this side of life, that is it. So you cannot give your time, you cannot give your gifts and your talents and your purpose. Why would you give it to some sewer water? Like, really, would you take your money and throw it into some sewer water? Would you let your children entangle themselves or get involved or play in sewer water? That's what happens when you are involving yourself and dealing with a narcissist. That is all they are: sewer water, nothing more, nothing less. It is pure trash. Like, everybody is waste. That's what they are. So they have to have these toxic and these chaotic environments, so that they're able to regulate their false self. They long since surrendered any part of their own identity over to the enemy to be used any which way. And so it's all to please their, it's all to just regulate themselves. Real quickly, O says 1 year out of the narc's grip. I'm happy and blessed. I had to highlight that. I had to stop everything because this is awesome and congratulations. And we are so proud of you and so happy for you because any day away from the narcissist is a day well lived. It's not always easy, but we celebrate you today. And I hope that you did something for yourself to celebrate this milestone. Don't ever take your milestones lightly. It is important that you celebrate these successes. The more and the longer you go, the more you're able to find yourself and reconnect yourself. So we are so proud of you and we are cheering you on, and we are just so happy that it has been 365 days. Oh, that is awesome. Congratulations. But with these narcissists, there's several different things that they do in which they are able to create an environment that is chaotic, that is full of confusion and, just drama filled. And, they always want to tell you that they don't like drama, but that is the biggest lie. That is one of the biggest lies that they tell you because they thrive in drama. They need drama. They are kings and queens of drama. That is it, period. There's nothing more to it. So sometimes you find that the narcissist can play different roles. So you find that they could be a victim one moment, right? And they will tell you, and they will almost seem like, it'll almost feel like they're pouring their heart out to you and telling you how the world, really, because they exaggerate everything, that the world is being cruel to them, and their boss was mean, or they were just not treated fairly, because they think that they're so important. They always elevate themselves, or they give themselves a seat that is they're not even qualified for it. So they will sit there and tell you how everybody has been against them and how hard it's been for them. And the moment that you start to talk to them, to comfort them, to encourage them, to offer some soothing words of advice, encouragement, things that normal people would appreciate, they suddenly turn into the prosecutor and is now blaming you for everything that ever went on in their lives. And it's flipped, and it's you're the problem, and you're the cause. And if it wasn't for you in my life, these people wouldn't see me like this. It's all because of my involvement with you, or my relationship with you, or because they saw me with you. You are the one that is pulling me back, after you were just encouraging them. And they do this so often, and they switch between roles like this. You can find one moment, they can create a situation where we see them do this all the time. They create an environment that is, dangerous, let's say, or, they put you in a particular predicament. Let's say, let me think. Let's say they wanted, you needed some money, and you, or no, you lent them some money. They told you they would give it back to you Friday. Hello, you forgot about, babe, let me hold a little something. So that's what they tell you. Babe, let me hold a little something. I need $200 until next week, and I got you. I'll give it back to you. And here comes next week, my money. I have bills to pay, or I need to pay daycare or whatever. And now all of a sudden they make such a big deal about you getting your money that it ends up feeling like, you know what, you're actually asking to borrow money from them. And you're here like, okay, what just happened here? I'm just trying to get my money. And you start apologizing for asking for your money back. No, get your money back from that raggedy, dusty behind, and stop giving the narcissist any money. Because listen, boo, that hobosexual has no job. They have nowhere to live. They need your couch. I mean, like, that's what a hobosexual is. They get involved in relationships simply so they have somewhere to stay. And Tanya mentioned it, yeah, last night on her live, that it's cuffing season. These homosexuals are out here looking for their boo. They're looking for their bae. They're looking for a little something to hold. They want your kids' juice boxes. They want your kids' Lunchables. They need something, It's getting cold, so you better be careful. Be careful. Don't throw your pearls to the swine. Just don't do it. Take it from me. Take it from me. I'll be your big sister, your little sister, your auntie, whoever you need me to be, to tell you, like, listen, I tried it all. and none of it works. They don't change, and they are who they are. So that's just it. Those homosexuals will do whatever they want to do to, to flip the script so that you become the problem, so that you become the one who is the issue, and they can sit back and enjoy watching this. Like, listen, these jerks actually get off on this. Some of them are so sick and twisted in their minds that they sit back and just enjoy watching you confused, watching you hurt, watching you think like, hold up, wait a minute, what just happened here? Like, I mean, like, I thought, like, I did give him that $200, like he did say to me, babe, let me hold a little something. And mind you, the whole time he was asking you that, he's sitting on his phone on the toilet seat, busy texting good morning queen to everybody. Listen, leave that joker alone. Leave that joker alone. Don't even waste your time. So another thing that they do, and my ex narc used to do this all the time, got on my last nerve, would try to keep me off balance by keeping me up at night. Like, listen, I've been at work, I've been doing all this work all day, and I'm tired. I've come home, I've cooked, I've cleaned, kids, everybody is taken care of, and now you think I'm going to stay up with you. So they will do that. They will do that. Yes, Tausha, the kids' juice boxes, they have no chill. They have no chill because he's homosexual, got no, and first of all, it can be a she too, okay? So it's not just men, it's women too. So yeah, so he would, do everything to keep me awake so that I don't sleep. And without sleep, you don't get to rest. And part of their hope sometimes is that it throws you off, not just it within your own self, but when you show up at work, that you may be a bit discombobulated, you may be tired, you may be off, you may be off, you're not at your best because you are drained. I mean, we can only go for without sleep for so long. And these creatures, these bats, these vampires stay up all night anyway. They can barely sleep because guess what? There's no rest for the wicked, and they are wicked, and that's why they cannot sleep. Like, listen, at night, that is when evil works. That is when they getting their souls fed from the pit of hell. So no, they don't sleep, but they want you to be up. They want you to be up so that you can, so that they, what happens sometimes is, you hear people lose their jobs because their performance begins to slack, or they get to work late, or they may go to on lunch break and fall asleep in the car, but don't wake up on time, or just stuff so that you don't perform at your best. And then suddenly they want to think that you owe them all the praise, all the thanks, all the adulation, adoration, because now they may have to take care of the household, they may have to help you find a job or anything, but they do all of this. All of this is intentional. All of it is just to take control of your mind. Once they have access to your mind, they have access to every other part of you. And that's why they are so eager and so desperate to get that control over you, over your mind. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your mind, where your thoughts are formed, that is who you are. And so if they can try to rape you mentally, then they believe that, everything, well, not that they believe, we know how everything else flows from our own relationships. There's certain things that these vampires like to say that will make you doubt your sanity. And one thing they could do is, like, they can be caught hand in the cookie jar. Ex-husband, very good at this, caught him cheating, everything. And no, it's not what you see, it's not what you think you're seeing, no, it's not what it looks like. Fool, what does it look like then? What is it? I'm seeing what I'm seeing. So what is it? They really think that they can manipulate every type of circumstance, situation, or every pile of mess that they find themselves in. And it's also that, especially if this is something that is happening repeatedly, right? The hope is that you end up doubting yourself. Like, this is, I guess it's also a form of gaslighting, really, when your perception of reality is so twisted, because now all you see is things through their lens. So they'll do that. They'll twist your words and tell you, well, you said this or you said that, or when you call them out on their own words, they will tell you that you're twisting reality, or you're lying, or you're exaggerating, and that's not how it went down, or that's not how, or that's not what they meant. All of this is just to throw you off. It is to keep you off your game. Let me see. Life is a beauty and a beast says trying to stand up for yourself is the worst because they are great at making you crazy. Absolutely. And have you ever encountered where there may be other people in the home, or you may be out, maybe at a family gathering or something, and they'll say something to you, maybe on your way there or in another room, that throws you off, and you are having a natural reaction to the nonsense that they just fed you. And then suddenly it's like, I told you she is crazy, this is what I have to live with. Suddenly they're the victim, lying, lying, lying. And because they know who they are, and they know what they're about to drag you through, because this is something that they've done over and over again, and they just know how this relationship is going to play out. They have already began to lay the foundation work for how they want people to perceive you the moment that you begin to speak out, or the moment you begin to have a normal reaction for their abusive behaviors. you know they can also tell you stuff like, you do this all the time, you are forever trying to change me, and all you're doing is really calling them out on their bad behavior. You're trying to make them accountable for what they are doing, or you are trying to sometimes. Listen, this fool used to tell me that I would try and change him. I caught my words. This raggedy dusty behind, I was trying to help you. You said that sometimes you can see the potential in a person, right? And you know that if you applied yourself a little more, you would be able to excel in these areas. So we see these things in them, and then they say that they want these things too, yet at the same time they don't put in the work or the effort. So in my crazy mind, I was like, listen, let me help you. No cussing, Adrena. Let me help you move forward. Like, if we just get the ball rolling, he'll see that this is not a difficult thing. This was about starting a business, and I was able to write a business plan, right? So I put this business plan together, and he wanted to go off with it, but lazy, lazy, lazy. That is all. They are lazy. Just like we call them pathological liars, they're pathologically lazy too. So, I mean, that was a hard lesson for me. That was throwing my pearl to the swine, because it went nowhere. It was a lesson. It was a lesson learned. Like, no, not again. Nope. Oh, this is a good one. Hi, Edith in Cali. They minimize the foul behavior and maximize creating drama out of our normal reaction. And this is so true. This is so true. And they're so good at it. And then everybody else is like looking at you like you are the problem, because again, they have also been misled or led to believe that you're the problem all along. Because guess what? While we're loving these jokers, while we are trying to see the good in them and be patient and just be honorable to them, and like do unto others like you want done unto them, you can't do that with a narcissist. You do to them what they deserve, and that is to drop that joker off and have nothing to do with that behind. Like, listen, so don't waste your time, because no, they met you at day one, and they knew that, what, this is exactly how this was going to happen. So don't even waste your time. They do things to make you doubt yourself, and they'll tell you, my ex-husband, you need help. Have you ever considered going to therapy or getting mental help? Oh, thank you so much, Uniquely Made. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, thank you. He would tell me that all the time, that you need help. And I'm like, really? I need help? And when you keep hearing this thing over and over again, it would play in how I was raising the kids. It would play in how I would just think, and how I would perceive myself. And so that's what it was really about. One thing about me is I speak quite a few languages. And so I would try to teach my children these different languages. And he would come and say, well, it's easy to teach children a new language when they are still young. And so here I am blackboard and everything, ready to have class with the kids, and I'm going to teach them and they're going to learn. And he would say, like, you can't live your life through them. Stop doing this to the children, or stop, but and I would feel like, oh my God, I'm being that parent, I'm being that soccer mom, I'm being that dance mom, when all it is trying to expose your children to different things. That's all I was trying to do, is just give them different things and help them be more cultured and move on. But no, he would tell me I needed help for just thinking that I could teach my children another language. Just crazy. Another thing is, they'll tell you, like, you're again, he's been cheating again, and I'm having a normal emotional response, and you're over emotional. That's why I can't talk to you about these things. That's why I end up going somewhere else, because you're overly emotional. Oh, okay, stay over there, you raggedy behinds. Let's see. Let's see what. Hello, Andrea. So my ex-narc is acting like an angel right now. He's on probation. Any violation goes straight to jail. I have a court order, restraining order in place for my safety, and we are praying for your safety. Make sure that if you document any exchanges, or any time that he tries to get in touch with you. Make sure you document and do everything that you can to protect yourself, because these jokers don't respect anything, and sometimes when we do get restraining orders or have them locked up, they become even more violent afterwards, because that's a hard boundary right there. And so, they don't want that. It's, why do you think you can have power or control over me? That, no. Be very careful about that. About also how you protect yourself. So, or they like to tell you that you overreact. Like, geez, can you just calm down? You are always overreacting. That is something that they do to throw you off, or to make you doubt your perception of yourself. Listen, if the narcissist has ever made you doubt who you are, just know that that's one of the tools in their little toy box. Tink Tink has a little toy box. And in Tink Tink's toy box, there's things like lies. In that toy box, you'll find projection. In that toy box, you find gaslighting, triangulation, cheating, just crazy things that demons play with. And you can't allow Tink Tink's thinking to become your reality of who you are. Remember, that person is full of nothing but sewer water, and you cannot get caught up in that. You cannot allow that person, that low level minion, to think that they have control over you, or that they are the one who is going to direct the course of your life. You can get out of that thing, and you don't have to believe the lies that this joker is going to tell you, or has been telling you. They also want you to adapt their way of thinking. And this is where they say, well, I know what I'm doing, I'm always right. Or anytime that I listen to you, we always end up in some type of situation, or it's always wrong. Or they may remind you of the one time when you said, like, okay, we're driving and take this turn, it was a wrong turn or something. They will continue to talk about these things. Like, listen, these are the jokers that love to bring up things that happened a long time ago. And because it's been a while, a long time ago, they think that you've forgotten how the situation played out. And you may have, or you may not have, just depending on how your memory is. And mind you, all these games that this joker plays, that this raggedy behind plays, actually causes us to experience memory loss on some level. So it's like, these demons know what they're doing. And this is why I refuse, like, this has to be demonic, because how do they know? How do they know? Who trained them? Where did all the narcs go to school? The pit of hell. That's where they went to school. And that's how they can all be in sync with everything that they do. But, when they remind you, or they mention what happened long time ago, they'll twist the facts surrounding it. And if you dare challenge them on what the facts are, they're going to come against you with various things like, oh, this is why, your family doesn't like you, or your mother doesn't like you. Mind you, you would have shared some truth about yourself, in that stage where they're trying to mirror you, love bomb you, and get to know you. and you give up information like, these are the problems that I had, my mom doesn't love me or whatever, and now they're going to use that against you. But they're not just going to fall on your mother. They're going to say the whole family doesn't like you because of this. You always just lie, or you just make things up, the very things that they do. So it's not even about you, it's all about them. And you can't allow that to become your reality. But I dare you to bring up the truth. I dare you to bring up a situation that happened a long time ago so that you can stand in your own defense. And here you go again, always bringing up old news. Mind you, old news could be like 2 weeks ago, but they will find things from 2 3 years ago. So you cannot get trapped in their way of thinking, or begin to perceive yourself the way that they want you to, because it is all calculated. It is all calculated so that they can derive incredible amounts of narcissistic supply. That is all this is about. That is all this is about. Anytime it involves a narcissist, you know that it is about power and control. It is about having rule over you. It is about deriving narcissistic supply. And that is pretty much what they are. That is all they need to thrive in life. They need a host. These leeches will grab onto whomever is giving anything about, whoever is giving anything. I'm trying to look at the comments, but talk at the same time, because comments is where it's always at. The comments stay popping. And so I was like, yeah, how can I read and talk at the same time? But like, these jokers always, they always know what they want to do. And so they're so strategic with the abuse that they inflict. And a lot of sometimes you also find that, I remember, there was one time we were at football, right? So my son was playing football and his friends are around, and his dad came. His dad wants to, well, yeah, he would want to live his football dreams through our son. And he always said, you're not going to go to the NFL if you keep doing this and this. You have to. And I'm like, listen, the boy is just trying to have fun with his friends. Cool down. And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay. But what he would do is, like, in front of our son's friends, he would embarrass him, and that is another way that they throw you off, in an environment of humiliation, confusion, or just breaking down your character. Because it's one thing to tell or to correct somebody on something in public. You can do it in a manner that is not embarrassing, that is not offensive, that does not break them down, that is not humiliating, but actually makes them feel like, okay, I learned something, I can do better here. But no, it always has to be in a manner that is going to cause you the most embarrassment. So, in social settings, they don't know how to act. You may feel like you may feel like you're, all dressed up for the night and going out to a nice dinner, but let somebody else compliment you and not the narcissist. Suddenly you've taken the spotlight away from the narcissist, and now you need to be punished for that. That is all part of their crazy making, you know, um, all the little tools in their little toy box, just so that they can continue to have different ways to inflict insidious abuse on you. And these guys are ridiculous. um, let me see what's in the comments. Oh, this is a good one. Hi, Shar. How are you doing tonight? They absolutely love pillow talk. You think you're on one accord, and they will use what you told them against you. So, one thing that ex psychopath that I used to date said to me was like, he asked me like, "Oh, what is your favorite couple scripture?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, because he is lying, future faking. This is he said some scripture to me, and he said, 'Bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh.' He's like, when I saw you, I just knew." And I was like, "Oh," because I didn't know. And then he would tell me that, "Oh, well, what's your favorite scripture as far as couples are concerned?" And I told him, "Well, Amos 3:3, how can two walk together unless they agree?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're right." And so, when he would try to play with my mind and get his way, he would tell me, "Well, if you don't do what I'm saying, how can we walk together if we don't agree? And then it'll become a whole biblical thing. And I'm like, dude, first of all, you are the least biblical person walking the planet of this earth, but it is a role that, they want to play. It's a role that they just adapt so that they can appear a certain way and cause you to doubt yourself. And that's why I think a lot of the times when we come out of these relationships, it's so difficult because there's so much mind fog that we've experienced. There's so much confusion. There's so much, we become so wrapped up in them. And, I've been calling them sewer water all night because that's what they are. But we can't hang around sewer water and not ingest any of it. We ingest what's in that toxic environment. And so we do carry some residue from them. And so it's really important that you take the time to detox your mind, body, soul, and spirit. And part of this, all of this allows you to find a way back to yourself. And it's so important because they don't deserve those parts of you. They definitely don't deserve those parts of you. And when we see them, I think Tasha said this, the T on MPD. I believe she said this, and she said something like they come back to reclaim parts of you that you what did she say, that you were able to heal or to recover. They come back to inflict that added damage, or to reclaim those parts of you. That's why they are hovering you. And so that's why it's so important that you don't go back, because that is all that you are going to get. There is no oneness. There can never be oneness unless you want to give away your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit over to that vessel of sewer water. Think of it as a barrel with nothing but sewer water in it. That is it. That is all that they are. So no, that joker does not deserve a second chance. They don't deserve a second. You know what? These fools didn't even deserve more than the initial hello. These are people that when we meet at a hello, it's supposed to stay at hello and we keep on walking. God bless you. Have a great day. Hey, that's it. That's all that joker deserves. Don't ever go back. Thank you so much, Pete. You are amazing too. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here and for being supportive. But yes, so I had a few notes that I wanted to of some things that I definitely wanted to be sure that I brought up. But it's all about that fragile ego of theirs. They want to feel like they believe. It's almost like the bully in the schoolyard, except this is in real life and they are doing real damage and they're affecting real lives. So they want to have that supremacy over you. And yeah, that joker doesn't deserve it at all. Like, listen, we can talk about it all day, but they don't deserve any of it. You've got to deny them at every turn. Let's see what's in the comments. Hi, Karen. So she says, toxic people steal your time away from God. After a couple of decades, I was no longer saying grace for the first time. I am the first time in my life, over 50 years at the time. And that's so true, because what happens a lot of the time is that um, there's like I was just saying, that we can't hang around them and not ingest some of that toxicity. And so we begin to become infected. And so as it seeps into us, that's that whole python spirit that begins to coil itself around us, that it pulls us away from our relationship with God. And for many people, as think about it yourself, like if you are somebody who was in relationship with God prior to meeting the narcissist, what happened afterwards? Were you still praying? Were you still interested in going to church? Were you reading your word? Were you fellowshipping with other people? 9 out of 10 is no, because of that spirit came to steal, kill, and destroy. It came to steal your destiny. It came to kill you, your life with Christ, your everlasting, and destroy everything in your life. That's all these jokers want: steal, kill, and destroy. And so that python coils itself around you, suffocating it. And that's it's so strategic, and it knows who to go after. If you really think about it, like, and if you of course, in this community, we've been caught up with narcissists, whether you were married to them or you dated them or whatever, you were raised by them. There is a reason why. There's a reason why, they come after you, that they seek you. And so that's why it's important that you fight your way out of this thing and you don't give them any room over your life. Just, because there's a reason why, the enemy never goes after a still target. It never goes after anything that is of no value. You don't go into a house that is all dilapidated and broken down to steal from it. They go into where it's beautiful, where there are things that are, where there are treasures. And we have this earthen vessel with treasures, right? So that's what they want. That's what they desire. And for them to be able to fully indoctrinate you into their foolishness, they have to take over your mind. And how do they do that? By keeping you in an environment of chaos, confusion, and drama, by keeping you off focus, by keeping you in the fog, fear, obligation, and guilt, which is narcissistic abuse. That is what this is about. That is why they work diligently and they are relentless in their effort to take over your mind, because they know they can see. A lot of the times we don't see, we may not see ourselves, but they see you. And that's why they do not give up. That's why they do not rest until they achieve their ultimate goal, which is total domination over your life, over your mind, over your soul, over your spirit. And that's what these guys are really after. So I'm gonna try and see if there's anything in the comments. Oh, somebody's mentioning that they're having some glitchy issues. I hope everything worked out and that you are still with us. Yep. Narcs are consummate liars and actors, and they will use the Bible in a minute. Like, listen, the Bible is nothing more than another manipulation tool. It is used in the pulpit to manipulate you. It is used in the home to manipulate you. It is used wherever they choose to carry it and to open it. And it's important that you get to know the Bible for yourself. It's important that, if this is important, it's part of your life, whatever your faith is, that you know it for yourself and that you establish a relationship for yourself with your creator, so that they cannot use it against you. Because you know they realize and they understand that if you were to ever see yourself, that your true self through the word, that it's over for them. And that's why they will do everything to try to twist scripture, to try to use scripture out of context, to try to use religion. And listen, religion, first of all, I don't do religion. Like, I do relationship. And I think, that would be the one thing that we should all pursue over religion, is a relationship. Because when you're in relationship, that means you know him for yourself. And once you know somebody for yourself, I'm not going to go to another person and ask them to tell me about Tanya. I'm going to fall back on the information that I have from relationship with her, so that I will be able to come to whatever conclusion I need to about her. I'm not going to go to another party when it comes to that, And so it's the same concept. Why go somewhere else when you have direct access yourself? So don't allow them to use the Bible to manipulate you. Don't allow them to twist those scriptures and use all of that against you. No, that is not how, that's not how it goes. That's not how it should be. So yeah. Oh, thank you, daughter of the Most High. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you are doing well. We need to catch up soon. Um, Eileen over here says she felt like she was on a fog for so long. Like, listen, it's so real. You are in a constant state of fear, walking on eggshells, wondering, oh, I wonder who he or she is going to be when they come back home. Are they going to be happy? Are they going to be sad? How do I need to act? You want to know who they are going to be the moment they walk in the door, so you know how to act. Like, listen, that is nonsense. You're going to act exactly how you deserve or how you feel like acting, and that raggedy fool can just deal with it, or they can go somewhere else. That's it. You know, You're not obligated to dim your light for them to shine. Never. And them guilt tripping us with all of their, oh, I thought you were, or I thought you were different, you're nothing like my, you're just like everybody else. No. First of all, if we consider their relationship history and all their exes, everybody that they worked with, everybody that they know is the problem, then who's the common denominator there? Who is the problem? It's the narcissist. So that's the problem. So don't ever be guilt tripped by them, or don't allow them to tell you who you are, or what your value is, because first of all, how are we going to let sewer water dictate our worth? Like, come on, guys. No. No. Yep, it sure says that you will know them by their fruits. And so, it is so important that you allow relationships time to mature. You allow them time to develop, because guess what? Time exposes weak bonds. And so, like, listen, if a man is when a man is interested in you, he's going to apply pressure on you, so that you know that he's serious, and that that he's not playing with you. But at the same time, if you told him, like, listen, you're going too fast, I need you to slow it down. Anybody who respects you is going to slow it down, but maintain enough stamina so that you know that, hey, I'm still serious about you. But not these fools. They want to just ride on through. The moment you tell them that, okay, listen, you're doing too much, you're doing the most, and we need you to to slow down, they're going to see this as you trying to take control over the situation. They're going to feel like, oh, okay, maybe something about her or about me is being exposed, and I need to hurry up so I can get to use this woman or this man quickly. Like, listen, they are here for one thing, and that is to take from you. They never come in here bringing anything. They never do this. Oh, here's a good one. I couldn't come home from work 5 minutes late, or I was questioned why. Yeah, these fools, like, listen, I've seen this, I've experienced this too. Like, you would always say, like, oh, you should have been home by this time. First of all, when you come home hours and hours late, nobody's asking you. Go ahead and live your life. We're adults here, but they always want to be able to control you and make you feel like, listen, I've got to be here. And even when you have the ones that want to manipulate or control you financially, they're going to, give you X amount of dollars. Let's say $150 to buy a month's worth of groceries, like, and you have a family of four. How is this $150 going to carry a family of four, and the narcissist eats nonstop? How is it going to carry this family for a whole month? They know this. But the point is to throw you off so that your mind can go into overdrive, trying to do the impossible to please them. And they're going to, they like to calculate to the last cent. How did you spend this money? And oh, so you thought that you could buy feminine products from food money? No. This is all part of what they do. And these relationships, this is so true. Karen says that toxic relationships wear you out and confuse you. Absolutely, and this is all on purpose. This is why it's just like ridiculous. Like, it is all on purpose. They do this simply so that they can manipulate us mentally, emotionally, psychologically, throw us off. And nothing about this is ever going to change at all. This is who they are. This is who they have always been, and this is who they will forever be. So for the times when you feel like you've missed them, or that you thinking back on the good old times, there was never, I don't care how good, and this is one thing I had to tell myself, there was never any good old times. When I would find myself, like, just sitting back and just remembering what I thought were tender moments, those little sweet pillow talks, none of that. I would have to tell myself, like, listen, there was never a good moment, there was never a good time, you never had any good old days, because everything that you experienced was already a setup so that you could be taken advantage of, because they were never faithful. They never cared about you. And these are hard facts, when you have to sit back and say everything was an illusion, nothing was real. It's like having a relationship with an invisible person. Your part is so real because you give from the very best parts of yourself, but there is nobody there. So you can sit back and expect a return of on investment. What return on your investment are you going to expect from some sewer water? Like, it's not happening. And so I had to tell myself that, and I had to, whenever I found myself really missing this person, I would have to say, like, listen, no, you're missing an illusion. You're missing an invisible person. Or just go back to the facts. Go back to what it was like on walking on eggshells, because you experienced that more than you did peace and happiness and loyalty. You never one time experienced love, because these jokers don't love. Listen, in order for a person to love, they have to first love themselves. You can't give what you don't have. Even the Bible tells us that love your neighbor as love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? So if you don't love yourself, then how do you effectively love your neighbor? The way that we love ourselves, which should be, not an arrogance, but like, just genuine, authentic love, self-love, healthy self-love, um, then you're able to love somebody from that, from a healthy disposition, but they don't have that. So you cannot expect an empty vessel to pour into you. They can't pour kindness. They can't pour love. They can't pour goodness. They can pour things like shame. They can pour things like envy. They can pour things like hate. They project those things because that's what's within them. They don't have any goodness. So when you find yourself missing them, you better cancel that feeling, because it's not real. And it's harsh, I know, and it's hard to accept, but those are the facts. And the moment that we're able to grasp onto that and really see things for what they are, the easier it is for us to continue to move forward. And I'm saying the easier. It's not easy when you have to grasp it like 5 years, 6 years, however long you were with this person was all a lie. But it's going to make the process moving forward a lot easier, because you don't want to be wrapped up in the mind games of the narcissist. You don't want to continually be wrapped up in what was, or what could have been, or what should have been. Let me see this comment. Kelsey says, I have to tell myself he is sick over and over. And that is the truth. They're sick in their mind, soul, body, spirit, everything. And, you know, and even if they had the option to get help, they won't. And you cannot waste your time. Your time is limited. Time is the only resource that we cannot reproduce ourselves. You cannot waste your time trying to help somebody who won't help themselves. That is the biggest waste of time ever. They don't want to, because what they're doing, it works for them. It works for them, and it works to fulfill their assignment. So you can't waste your time and your goodness and your energy and your efforts trying to help this person. It's something that they have to want for themselves. Hi, Miss V. Thank you for joining us tonight. And she says, when I think about the narc, I talk to myself and say, girl, what is wrong with you? Snap out of it, Veronica. I also think about all his cruel behavior. And, I kind of talk to myself like that. Sometimes I can be quite strict with myself and be like, you are crazy. Why would you go around and think about this person like that? And I have to remind myself, like, first of all, this person, especially when they get to meet their children, when they get to meet your children and they become part of your lives, yet they know that they are full of it. They are full of sewer water. They know how raggedy they are, but they still do it. Like, listen, remind yourself of the disappointment that your children had to face, your children's heartbreak. Because listen, when we get involved with these relationships and we have children, it's not just us who are in the relationship. Even if our kids don't meet this person, our kids still see us when we're happy, when we're sad, and when we try to cover up whatever it is that we're feeling. They still see how we're feeling. And so remember how they felt. So no. Nah, nope. And yeah, they definitely are not going to get any help, because it's working for them. They don't want to get help. And it's so rare for them to ever get help. Like, listen, let's just go back to they don't. I remember I did a video. I did the video of the dying narcissist, right? And how I believe that that is their ultimate karma because of what the process is like. The process of dying is not easy, it's not easy for anybody. The body is going to go through certain reactions. But you hear so much from their family about who they are, and it just plays into the process. Like, like when a person lives a graceful life, they die gracefully. When they're a peaceful person, they die peacefully. But when they're toxic and vile, that is what comes up. All of that comes up. But I remember a comment in there that said, well, I think that you're wrong if you don't pray for them and all of these things. It doesn't matter. You cannot pray them into heaven. Heaven is not mine to give to them. Heaven, hell, I don't have any power or authority to put anyone in heaven or hell. It is something that they have to want themselves. And if they won't open their mouths to do what needs to be done and to change their ways, why do we dedicate our time for that? Why would we give up ourselves and our time, our energy, our effort? We could be chasing down our dreams. We could be enjoying ourselves. We could take all the money that we've ever thrown at these people and really have the vacation of our lifetimes. Like, listen, we could all meet up in Bora Bora and have a fabulous time. Stop wasting your time with these guys. Stop wasting your resources. Stop wasting your energy and your thoughts. Your thoughts. If we continue to think about, and it happens, yes, but snap out of it as quickly as you can and reprogram your thinking. When they do cross your mind, just remember Raggedy, Dusty, behind. That's all they are. Remember the truth about who they are. Remember everything that they showed you. Remember how they made you fearful. Remember another thing they do to cause I just remembered this, to bring that confusion, drama, chaos, as well as terrorize you, is by making threats. Like, what happened to the last person that left me, or if you ever leave me, and they'll just show you their weapons because you know that they carry their license or whatever. They start doing things to make you fearful. Listen, even if you are scared, still take that first step. Take that first step scared. Take that first step as long as you are moving forward, but protect yourself in the time beings. If you are licensed and you can carry, then carry. You have something to protect yourself. Document, use whatever resources are available to you. Go get some self-defense classes. Learn how to beat that sucker up. Like, do what you have to do. You remember Enough, the movie? Get a little bit of that. Beat up that joker. Do what you have to do to protect yourself and your family. Because at the end of the day, all I know is that we are the winners. We are victorious, and we need to be victorious on this side of life. Don't let them take you out. Be victorious on this side. And so that means, like, pursuing your passion relentlessly, just as relentlessly as they were after you. Go ahead and pursue your passion and be who you're supposed to be. The narcissist came to steal, kill, and destroy. So let me see what else is going on in these comments. Big facts. O says they can get help because they believe they are not wrong. They are convinced with everything in them that they are, that they are right, and that they know everything, and that we need to bow down to them. Jokers, please. No, they really do believe. And that's why, that's why they go so hard to try to make you see things their way, even when their way doesn't work. It's hard to correct them, or to make them see, like, listen, what you're doing doesn't make sense, because it's insanity. You keep doing the same thing, going round and round in circles. But they refuse to change because they know everything, and they feel like, it's a game, it's a competition also. So if they were to give in to what you're saying, then that would make you the winner. No, you cannot. And this is such a good point here. Oh is coming with the gems tonight. Oh says, remember who you were before you got hooked with the narcs. And what this just reminded me of, guys, do you remember the Lion King, when Simba kept on chasing after Mufasa? He ran away. He ran away from the Pride Land, right? And he finally got back to that part. It was a part where they were. It was at night, and he was by the water, and all he could hear was his father saying, "Remember who you are. Remember, there's that person on the inside of all of us. There's an inner Simba in all of us." Okay, so don't allow what you see, or don't allow what life has shown you to take away from who you truly are. You really have to remember who you were before the invasion of these minions in your life. Like, you are somebody with destiny attached to your name, and so you got to keep going forward, and one foot in front of the other. Sometimes it's going to be harder. There'll be those days that are harder to move on, and so those are the days you might have to take it moment by moment, minute by minute, but then take it day by day and keep going stronger. Keep going stronger. We were just celebrating 1 year narc free. Like, hello, 365 days is not easy, but you can also get to that point. um oh, I see we are celebrating somebody who did not marry the narc. So Candace K, I am thankful you never went through with marrying him too. She'll find out the hard way. Listen, sometimes it is better to wait long. In fact, it is always better to wait long for the right person than marry wrong. Ask some of us over here, and I will testify to you any day. Like, I'm glad that it didn't go through. I'm glad that it didn't go through, because even though we know we can get divorced, and even when you're the one filing for a divorce, it is not easy. It is not easy. And one thing about being married to these people is they are who they are, right? And they're not going to change. And one thing, when I got married, I remember just feeling like almost instantly, like I went to the altar with one person and came away with somebody else. And it didn't make sense to me, like, how were you one man before, and now you are totally different? But at this point, what else could he give me? We were married now, and in his mind it was like, okay, this is it. He one time told me, well, we're married now. Why do you think it would get any better? This is it. This is life. This is our life now. And this was trying to get me to accept his foolish behaviors, trying to get me to accept all of this confusion, chaos, drama, no respect, none of it. So no, that's what it was. Everything, like he said, everything went downhill from that point. And it went downhill like instantly. There was no honeymoon period. There was none of it. So no, there was no honeymoon at all, at all, at all. Thank you so much, Telsha. I appreciate you so much. You are so supportive. The T on MPD. Thank you so much. Okay, here's another one. Didn't marry also, but what I found out later was love bombing. Just felt like doing a lot, and even when he insisted, reminded, begged that he loved me, somehow just felt off and suffocating. If we're gonna be honest with ourselves, a lot of the times, and I'll be the first one, I will be the one here to tell you that I ignored every red flag, everything, because everything up until we got married felt good, and it felt, because it was all love bombing. It was all, I was a lot of things, right? um and I just fell for everything really hard. And just for me to see that, oh, no, everything, I kind of just always felt it would always be this way, but I was wrong. Like I said to you, when I got home, it was a totally different person. And initially, my mind was just like, what did I do wrong? It was never about like, okay, this joker changed. Why did he change? It had to be about me, because that's how he conditioned me to think. I was the problem. I was the one that needed help. I was the emotional one. I was overreacting. And I always wanted to go back to how it was. We know this, we want to go back to that love bombing stage, but it never happens. And hello, who wants to be love bombed? If somebody's telling you that, or if you know that they're love bombing, you walk away. Love bombing is never positive, because why love bomb? Why not just love? Like, why? So don't desire that. Like, because what always comes after love bomb is a devaluation. It's just part of the process. So even if you are here watching and you're still in a relationship with the narcissist, or even if you're still missing the narcissist and you want to go back to how it used to be, how it used to be was a lie. How it used to be was always beneath you. How it used to be, you were being played. You just were unaware of it. So no, don't, wish for something better. If you share a child with the narc and he has married the new supply, would you be right in wanting to meet her since she's always around your child? Heck yes. Let me tell you something. My ex-husband, like, he went to work one day and just that was it. He never came home. He went to work one day and that was it. And his greener pastures would always call. She would call, and I never heard from him 6 straight months. I never heard from him, and she was always the one calling, hanging up, doing childish things, right? And so I knew that's where he was, so I didn't worry about it too much. But here's the thing: when it was, and she would call me all kinds of names. She would be like, you African monkey, all kinds of things she would say. And when it was time for the kids, because I didn't want to be the one to stop. I wanted the kids to be able to make their own decisions as to what they were going to do or how they wanted to spend their time with their father. So I told him, like, I want to meet her and she needs to apologize. And those were my conditions, and I didn't. She had to look me in the eye and apologize. And then, at that point, I was just like, okay, go ahead and, let the kids make up their own decisions. Which once they got around the two of them, they said, nope, we don't want to do this anymore, because they were able to see the same pattern but worse. What was going on in our home had now multiplied. And he was even out of control. He was so out of control when it came to her. And you reap what you sow. That's all I can say. So no, it is never better for the new supply. It is never better, especially when they leave you and you have a family and they're now with a new supply. Listen, the moment that new supply gets old, the moment that new supply gets boring, the moment the new supply can't be you and can no longer be manipulated or whatever their situation is, the moment the new supply gets pregnant and has a baby, and then life and responsibility becomes normal in that home, it goes downhill and fast. So don't ever sit back and think that, you're going to be missing out on anything with that. So Shar says the one-sided mirror is all smokes in the mirror, a mirage. After the love bombing stage, the games begin. They know they have you in their love web of darkness. Exactly. It's kind of like your membership into that love cult has been pending, and the moment that pending, that you accept them and you are now having feelings for them, you're fully indoctrinated, and now it's time for them to show you who they truly are and to show you what you wanted. Okay, so here Karen is sharing with Adrena some scriptures for protection: Psalms 91, Psalms 35, Psalms 51. I'll add Psalms 57 and even Psalms 23. So there we have that. Thank you for sharing those, Karen. I appreciate you. Oh, yes, Miss V. She sure did say I was the African monkey, and it was okay. It was all right. Hi, Tanya. She says, yes, the new supply gets treated like the gum on the bottom of their shoe. You ain't ever lie. They either want the person to be you or to attack you. Either way it goes, they use that person with a focus on you. Sick, very sick. They'll try to make the new supply wear your perfume, dress like you, do things that you love to do, all to try and reproduce or recreate an environment of you. But what's so crazy is that is also abuse towards the new supply, whether they realize it or not, because I dare somebody to try to make me be somebody else. Like, hello, you raggedy fool. No, go back to where you were, or go find somebody who is already those things, because you are who you are. And anytime somebody's coming to change you, No, there are people can come into our lives to edify us, to make us better, but that doesn't erode who we are. The narcissist wants to erode your identity. And so, just like when they try to make the new supply you and they try to get the new supply to do the things that you like to do, to go around and hang out and all those things, no, no. The new supply, yeah, it's over for them, really. Hi, Kay Cole. How are you? All right, now, come on, Tony. Tell us. She says, none of them will ever be me. I was very good to him. And that's the thing, we are great to them. We offer the very best to who they are, of ourselves, because that's who we are. Don't ever allow a relationship with a narcissist to alter your personality, to alter your heart and the condition and posture of your heart. Don't allow them to change those things. Those are the things that make you unique. Those are the things that make you you. Those are the things that make you stand out, that make you valuable, and that add flavor to yourself. So don't ever allow them to alter your personality so that you can blend in with them, because no, it's not, they're not worth it. And there's nothing wrong with you. A lot of the times, we end up feeling like there's something wrong with us. It's easy to internalize this type of abuse. Like I told you, like, when my ex turned and was just somebody different after we got married, and I was constantly, what is wrong with me? No, you are always enough. You've always been enough. They are just not enough. They're the ones with the problem. And so we have to shift the blame off of ourselves and see things for what they are, and assign blame to the one who truly deserves the blame. And guess what? It is not you. So don't even worry about it. Hello, Kelsey, and thank you for being here. It's so dumb. Why did they look for you in someone else? They had you. All they had to do was treat you like a human with respect and civility. First of all, it's a raggedy, dusty behind. They can't do those things because they are so full of themselves, and they believe that we won't leave. They believe that we will ride or die till the wheels fall off, and that was their tragic mistake, because we're not going to. You know, we find our way and we find ourselves, and then we come out of these relationships, and they're the ones who are stuck trying to recreate who we were in other people. Hello, she says, when he's whining and insists he loves me so much, and then turn around and criticize something very much me. Exactly. I had to start asking him what it was that he loved so much then. And that, you make it make sense. He can't make it make sense because there's no sense up there. There is confusion in their mind. There is chaos and there is drama. They cannot make it make sense. And that was that whole, like, they'll assume one role and acts one kind of way, and then flip the script. And now, you've gone from victim to victimizer, from judge to jury. Like, they just do whatever they think they can get away with. They are so wrong. Oh, here's a good one. I like this line too. Uniquely Made says, like Quinn Holiday said, "You will look for me in another, but I promise you, you will never find me." And I remember hearing Quinn say that, like, right in the beginning of my journey, when I finally knew what I had been dealing with. And this was written on my bathroom mirror. I took lipstick and I wrote it across the mirror. And I said, like, listen, you have got to believe this. Even when I felt so weak, and I would look at it and I'll go into my bed and cry because the feelings were still so raw for me. But I would see it every day and I would speak it. Say, hold on to something, and for yourself, and and just believe it, stand firm on it, and let it become your reality. Remember, your words are so powerful. Your words are creative forces. You will look for me in somebody else and you will never find me, because guess what? I'm unique. You are unique. Remember, your fingerprints, they're unique. Nobody else has those things. Your proclivities, they are yours, not the next person's. They are yours. Your smile, your laugh, your personality, those cannot be dictated. They cannot be duplicated. And this is the thing, the narcissist is always, they lie to nobody but themselves. They lie to nobody but themselves. Listen, let me tell you something. Please, Look at yourself in the mirror tonight before you go to bed and speak kindly to yourself. Thank yourself for making it this far. It doesn't even matter if the narcissist is in the bed waiting for you to join them. It doesn't matter. Thank yourself for making it this far, because it takes a lot to go through these relationships and still be here and still be sane and still not have beat them over the head with the bat till the white meat fell out. Like, listen, thank yourself for these things, and thank yourself for not allowing them to erode who you are, your personality, your wonderful, amazing qualities. And just like, like it was said earlier on, remember who you are. Remember, if I wish I had the Mufasa voice, I would definitely be like Simba, remember, but that's just what it is. I'm gonna see if I can find any more. Tony says, I learned to love myself and accept God's love. I strengthen my boundaries and will never be treated like that again. And that is so true. You definitely have to strengthen your boundaries. We are so proud of you, Tony, for being able to see yourself in the truth. You are able to see that Tony is fearfully and wonderfully made, and that she is loved. She is the apple of God's eye. So you see yourself in truth and you accept that as your truth. Sometimes when we hear when we receive compliments, and it could be, just like I'm talking to you now, and I'm talking to Tony, like, let's just say, like, you're coming out of these relationships. It's so hard to accept this, because a lot of the times you never hear it from the narcissist. I can't even remember. I used to be like, what is wrong with me? Because, like, he never ever complimented me, but he's leaving all kinds of trails, all type of paper trails, calling every other woman on earth beautiful and gorgeous, and, oh, you were just amazing, and all these things. But you would never hear these things. And so, you can question yourself. And it's not just about your physical attributes, but your strengths, just being encouraged and telling you that you're an amazing woman, that you're a great father, that you're a great provider, that you are all those things. And so it can be hard to hear those things, but you've got to start telling yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to come and tell yourself. You are your own greatest prophet. There's no prophet that should ever come to you and speak over your life something that is new and foreign to you. You should be able to speak these things to yourself. So just like I said, Tony, this is who you are. You now need to tell yourself, and this is for everybody, not just for Tony, because she already strengthened her boundaries, but you have got to tell yourself that this is who I am. And you've got to start believing it. And you're going to have to tell yourself this over and over again. So Jamaican Barbie says, I feel like in Jamaica or in the Caribbean, narcissist is very hidden. And growing up in Christianity, they cover it. I have raised to respect your elders' culture. Listen, I guess it's just like within the African cultures, Jamaican Barbie, because it's children are seen and not heard. And there's a whole lot of customs and traditions that come into play that we can't question or we can challenge, because that's just the way it is. And that, as a woman, especially, you're supposed to respect your man and you're supposed to treat them a certain way. I remember seeing this picture on Facebook of a woman kneeling, and she was serving her man. Now that, everybody in the comments was lighting it up, because she said, how could you do that? But for me, I just kind of sat back, because I've seen this happens in our culture every day. It's nothing. And if I had the right man, I wouldn't even mind doing it. And that's just my truth. This is our culture. I've seen it happen, and it's no disrespect. It's not that she's beneath him or he's above her. That's just part of the culture. But there's certain things and there's certain times when that it's not right to do, some of these cultural things. And I'll be honest with you, I've seen a lot. And I've also said to myself that I would not date an African man because of what I saw. That's my truth. Like, because of how some of these cultures, or these things within culture are twisted, and how sometimes you have no voice, and how sometimes women are treated. No, for me, I said no. because I couldn't have that headache. Did it save me from a world of narcissists? No, I married them, but or I married him, but you live and you learn. I made those decisions, and I still don't know if I would change them because I'm kind of also, like I just can't see myself doing some of the things that they want you to do and have no voice and just be there, and a lot of the times, it's either a family is so into God and church that they'll even bastardize scriptures and use them to manipulate you, or they're on the occult side. And so, it's one or the other, and I just chose no. I chose no. So another question here from Sherry D. I'm going through a breakup with a narcissistic man. What is the difference between a narcissistic man and his control and a patriarchal man who needs control? At the end of the day, there's still the element of them both wanting control over you, control over what you do and how you conduct yourself, or how you do things. And oh, it all is about power and control. It doesn't matter, because I think some of their traits sometimes do rub into each other, or they intertwine. Um, it's all about still having that control over you, and so it doesn't matter which, even with either one of those types of men, they are still going to both manipulate you and still diminish you, and you can never truly rise up as who you are under their control, under their influence, because it comes back to that power and that control over you. I think, as far as the differences are concerned, is there any empathy? Is there any leeway for open and honest conversations? A lot of the times, like when we try to talk to the narcissist and they're so gung-ho on having these crazy situations play out with us, well, are you able to have a productive conversation where you are heard, where your concerns you're able to address your concerns without fear of retaliation, without being gaslighted, with no projection, without being triangulated? Are you able to do those things with either one? No, I know definitely not with the narcissist, but anytime somebody wants to or have a level of control over you, I kind of back away. I just was sharing, like, when it came to our culture and why I chose to stay away from men like that and not get into the relationship is because of that aspect of control. I can't give up myself, and it's not that there's even an issue of, accepting advice or words from a man, but I still want to be able to think for myself because I was given a mind for a reason. So if somebody's trying to control, I can't roll with either one of them. To me, they're just going to be one and the same. Eileen says, this is my mantra. There are things we don't want to happen, but have to accept. Things we don't want to know, but have to learn. And people we can't live without, but have to let go. That's the truth, Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was a good one, Eileen. Thank you so much. Control over others is never right. Nope. Okay, here she is. Hi, Cherie. Thank you. So she says, I keep wondering what I'm dealing with, but he has many narcissistic traits. Well, the writing's on the wall. And when they begin to show you these traits, take it for what it is, because you don't have to count all the traits to know that this is a full-blown narcissist. Why even accept, even if it's 3 or 4 of those traits? Like, if he has many of the traits, then it's best to protect yourself, because it never gets better from here. And you know a lot of the times when we find ourselves questioning the relationship, we already have the answer. When we start researching and figure out what's going on, we already know what the problem is or what the issue is, and we know what we need to do. And so if you are seeing the signs, don't turn your eye. Listen, take it from me. Don't turn your eye, because they don't change and it's never going to get better. If the traits are showing themselves now, they're going to magnify later on. They're going to dive deeper in it. And it's like you give the enemy a foot. If you give them an inch, he's going to take a whole yard, a whole mile. I know that's not how the saying goes, but that's how, that's truly what it is at the end of the day. Shar says all those demons read from the same playbook. Those demons were all raised in hell. That's all. They were all raised in hell. You're absolutely right. Let's see. I saw something that I wanted to highlight. Oh, I can't. It's gone. I can't find it. Thank you for joining us, Blue Rose Fire. I am glad that you made it to a live chat. Thank you so much for being here. Jess G says, I try to talk the issue out and he ends up giving me the silent treatment, then moved on to blocking my number and everything else countless times. Yeah, again, that power and control over you, because silent treatment is another form of manipulation. It's another form of of control. It's one of their tools in little Tink Tink's toy box. And when somebody gives you the silent treatment, that's now your sign to say, like, okay, just, what, this is where it ends here. Because if you give the narcissist an opportunity to block you, they're going to unblock you. A lot of the times when they block you, it's about that control. It's about the control all the time. They're going to block you, then they're going to unblock you, then they're going to block you and unblock you. Who has time to play musical blocking chairs? Like, let that, block the joker and leave them alone. Let them find out what it's like to receive permanent silent treatment. Um, As women, we really need to learn to leave at the first red flag. It's a red flag for a reason. It was revealed to you, you're not blind to them. So you see them and you remove yourself from the situations. And this is what it is, and a lot of times, depending on, on just our experiences throughout life, we may not trust ourselves. But part of this journey into recovery is to trust yourself, because we're somehow disconnected that, when we see the signs, we don't want to see the signs, or we feel like, well, maybe I'm not really seeing the right thing. And so we hold on and we ponder and we ponder. And next thing we look up, the years have gone on and there have been so many bad experiences. And yet we never leave because we've already invested this time, or we're tied into the situation or the relationship. But when you see the signs, take it for what it is. And you got to take it for what it is and move on, because it never gets better. And you know what, the very things that you ignore at the beginning of the relationship, guess what, those are the very reasons why you're going to be ending that relationship. And Sylvia says it is all a game to them, and it truly is nothing more than a game to the narcissist. That is all it is. um So, everybody, I know that so many of you have to go to work tomorrow, so I don't want to keep you here much longer. I'm gonna go through these questions once they come back up, and start answering them, and also just do videos on them. But I do want to thank you so much for your time and for being here and for being supportive. I appreciate you all. And it's my sincere hope that you continue to thrive, that you continue to grow, that you continue to reject every negative word that was ever spoken over your life, not just by the narcissist and toxic people in your life, but even the ones that you uttered to yourself. I want you to reject all of those and begin to speak positive things over yourself and be loving towards yourself, and set the bar on how you want to be treated high. It all starts with us. We have a level of responsibility when it comes to our recovery. And so we've got to dive into this thing with everything that we have and pursue it passionately, so that we can see the change. We can become the change that we truly want to see and that we deserve in our lives. So I thank you for spending your Thursday night with me. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope you have a great weekend. And I will see you on Tuesday. So until then, everybody, take care of yourselves and take care of each other.